I never read that in the Constitution elsewhere, where they can just pick a private citizen and charge him. On this impeachment fiasco today, this is Alan Dershowitz on CBN with David Brody. Alan Dershowitz brings up three things about this sham impeachment number 2. Number 1, impeachments for high crimes and misdemeanors. There's not only not a high crime, there's no crime or misdemeanor. Second, he talks about Brandenburg versus Ohio. I'll get to that in a second. It's important you understand that. I want to bring up one more point, too, after this video. President Trump will be out of office in just a few days. He will be a private citizen. The Constitution does not allow the Senate to try a private citizen. They try the President of the United States. This is entirely unconstitutional and an absurdity. Here's Dershowitz explaining the first 2 points about high crimes and misdemeanors and Brandenburg. I'll explain what he means in a second. Check this out.
A, it's unconstitutional. It violates several provisions of the Constitution. Number 1, it's not a high crime and misdemeanor. Number 2, it's protected by the Constitution and by the debate and speech clause and by our general traditions of free and open dialogue in the marketplace of ideas. The article of impeachment basically suggests you can impeach a president for a speech that virtually every constitutional scholar acknowledges is protected by the Constitution. The Brandenburg case is the leading Supreme Court decision, and it says a president or anybody else may advocate violence. You can't incite it, but you can advocate it. And what he did was advocating simply going to the Capitol. You know how many people have stood where he stood and advocated marching on the Capitol? Union leaders, civil rights leaders, to turn it from good to bad, members of the Ku Klux Klan, members of the Nazi Party, communists, suffragettes. That's a standard tactic. You get up and you say, go to the Capitol, protest, show how strong we are, show that we're not willing to back down. It's right in the Constitution.
That's
the right to petition the government for a redress of grievances. That's what he urged people to do. They got out of hand. They committed crimes. They should be prosecuted, but the speaker should not be prosecuted.
Sorry, that was David Brody on Just the News. He was with CBN before. He brings up 3 points. I want to discuss them right now because they're critical to understanding this sham impeachment. Ladies and gentlemen, there was no high crime or misdemeanor. There was no crime at all. Tens of thousands of people with positions of prominence and power have recommended that people march on the Capitol. When you have people who go there and commit violent acts at the Capitol, those people are held responsible, not the people who are the speakers. No, Dan, that can't be. Dershowitz is wrong. I heard you can't yell fire in a movie theater. Ladies and gentlemen, fire in a movie theater is a sham for people who don't understand Brandenburg versus Ohio. That is not the standard. I am not an attorney, and I don't pretend to be, and no, I didn't stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night either. But I'm not stupid, and sane people can understand the law without having a JD behind their name by simply reading precedent. People who don't know what they're talking about and want to attack free speech every time say, you can't say that. Trump can't say fire in a movie theater, which would endanger people's lives. They trample each other to get out of there. That is not the standard. The legal standard for speech that can be criminalized is speech that speaks of speech that incites imminent unlawful actions. Imminent unlawful actions, not abstractions. I want to be crystal clear. You have to specifically say in your speech to be charged under these standards, saying something that incites an imminent and demands an imminent unlawful action, not an abstraction. Not we've got to fight, not we've got to show strength, what President Trump said. Obviously not when he said march peacefully and patriotically. How that would incite an imminent unlawful action, I'm not sure. I don't get the legal logic there because there is none. Even Maxine Waters' speech, where she said, if you see anybody get in their face talking about members of the Trump cabinet, I've got bad news for people. That's probably not criminal either because it's an abstraction. If you see anybody, you get in their face. Now, if she would have said at the time, God forbid, Alex Azar, a cabinet member of Trump's, was sitting 20 feet away from Maxine Waters, and she said, go get in the face and attack Alex Azar right now, God forbid, that's different. You're inciting an imminent, unlawful, an attack, go do it now, action. Saying get in the face of anybody you tell anybody, you gather is an abstraction. She likely would not be charged with anything. Don't mistake what I'm saying for sanctioning her idiocy and her normalizing, sadly, of political violence. That's not what I'm saying. I'm here to tell you the truth. Dershowitz is right. Trump isn't guilty of any crime at all. And I don't know how urging people to march peacefully and patriotically is inciting unlawful action. I'm not sure. Finally, as I addressed before, the second, there's no high crime and misdemeanor, so this is unconstitutional, this impeachment. Secondly, there's imminent unlawful action condition is not satisfied at all. And thirdly, Trump's going to be a private citizen on January 20th at noon. There's no trial in the Senate for a private citizen, only a president. I never read that in the Constitution elsewhere, but they can just pick a private citizen and charge him.
You just heard Dan Bongino.